Hello and welcome to my video number 2, in which I'm going to tell you about 5 easy ways to improve your language learning skills. My name is Konrad, this is Best Play channel, let's go! Before we move to an actual point number 1, I just want to make you aware that what you are about to watch in the next few minutes is not a shortcut that will allow you to speak fluently in, let's say, 3 weeks. I've seen advertisements like these so many times and I always laugh at them as though it was a good comedy movie. What I'm showing you is practical, psychology-based, and taught by people called polyglots, hyperpolyglots, or multilingual people. Whatever you call them, I believe these 5 tips will enhance your learning ability by maybe even 150 or 200%, and, as in my case, studying language will no longer be a compulsory duty, but rather a pleasure of doing something useful. So point number 1 is, let's call it, be like a child. I'm pretty sure what you think of studying a language is sitting at school, cramming lots of vocabulary, learning irregular verbs, doing plenty of grammar homework, and then, after 10 years of such learning, you realize you actually can't speak it. You keep forgetting vocabulary, you don't know how to construct a simple sentence, so you remain silent, just not to make a mistake and humiliate yourself. I've been there, trust me, there is a way out of this crappy situation. In the first place, look at children, and don't forget to include yourself. You can speak one language, which we call native language, native tongue or mother tongue. Have you ever wondered how you learn it? Do you remember when your parents gave you a large book entitled Grammar for Newborns, with applications? And the first page included words like mama pupu and mama pipi. You don't? Really? Of course you don't, because such an absurd situation never happened. And that's exactly what they are trying to do at school, and then they are surprised that it doesn't work. So what the kids do that they learn without actually learning it? They listen. At first, parents or grandparents or anybody else talk to a baby. They create natural language environment for the baby, and the little creation knows it and feels safe in it. You should do the same. Create yourself an environment of listening language aloud. How do you do it? Nothing's easier. The internet. There are so many movies, series, cartoons, whatever you can watch for free that as of now you have no longer the lack of resources as your excuse. Listen in your car, public transportation, at work if you have such possibility, while jogging, at gym, wherever you are, wherever you can. This will make you more confident and more familiar with your target language, although you won't speak it well yet. When kids grow up, they gradually start talking. But do they speak perfectly at once? No. They barely use what we call words. But they do something that continues building their confidence. They get what they want. As I say, they provide the message. Using super simple language like mama pupu, they get their needs satisfied. Imagine you've been learning language for 3 months and you go on vacation abroad. Your vocabulary set is good enough to have a simple conversation at the hotel or in a restaurant, so you get a place to sleep and you get some food. Your very basic needs are then satisfied, just like the babies. But how do the babies know what to say? Know that they begin by repeating what they hear from their parents, or grandparents, or anybody else. Do the same. Try to repeat sentences you hear in movies. Even if the meaning is not clear for you at that moment, you'll at least get familiar with a new sentence. And the last thing to mention in this point is that under no circumstance be afraid of making mistakes. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. And as Napoleon Bonaparte said, the one who makes no mistakes makes nothing at all. I think when he said that, he had no idea how powerful and universal this simple sentence will become. And point number 2 is what I call shower conversations. Many people say, alright, it all sounds good, but I don't have a talking buddy, so I don't practice speaking and talking at all. Stop it and listen to what I have to tell you, as this may change your whole worldview. But before I get down to it, let me quickly remind you a situation I guess you've experienced in your life at least once. Have you ever woken up and you had no idea whether what you just saw and felt was real or it was just a dream and it took a while to your brain get back on the right track? So what is the thing I am going to emphasize by using this example? It's that your brain doesn't really distinguish the source of your memories. It doesn't know whether the situation was real or fake, but it can remember the situation very well. And now you can use it to your advantage, a really, really big advantage. Just talk to yourself. Have imaginary conversations all the time in your head. No one can ever punish you for that. There is no way you will ever humiliate yourself. And you will practice and practice and practice, and it's gonna be tremendously easy for you to switch to actual out loud conversations later. I even created my virtual conversation buddy and we practice all day long. It's so much fun. Another advantage of using shower conversations is that while trying to say some sentence, you catch yourself which words you need the most. If you need them, it means they are natural way of your parlance, or in other words, the way you speak. So you're going to need this word quite often. Next, use similarities. Unless you're going to study Chinese or Japanese, all languages have similarities, especially if these languages are Latin-based or Europe-based like English, German, Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese or Russian. Let me now show you a few examples. Spanish word, el profesor. German word, ein student. Computer, mama, papa, these are very universal ones. Italian word, per esempio, and French expression, par exemple. I'm pretty sure you already know what they mean. And Russian words, universitet, which is university, very easy. And many others. There are plenty of them. Don't worry if you don't know how to say what you want to say, because sometimes using your native language allows the other person to understand you fully, because the similarity of your languages is so huge. To give you an example, a few weeks ago, my girlfriend and I went to Prague in Czech Republic, and the receptionist at our hotel spoke only Czech language, and I and my girlfriend, as Polish native speakers, could have understood almost everything, and so could the receptionist. Repetitio est mater studiorum. This Latin sentence means that repetition is the mother of learning, and from my teaching experience, I can say that this is the hardest part while learning a foreign language. Although using the above methods yields good results after a few days of using, keeping up the practice is difficult as it requires regularity. Some go to school and have to do homework. Some go to work and are tired in the afternoon. Some are just lazy, but if you are still watching this video, you are not one of them. A common misconception about this regularity is that one must devote all of his time to studying only. Wrong. The correct way is that one should spend at least 15 minutes every day on learning. This isn't much, but if you do it every day, every single day, for 1 year, it gives you more than 90 hours of learning, and that's a lot. And the last but not least, motivation. You need to determine a very precise reason why you want to know a language. There are many reasons like studying or going on vacation abroad, working in international company, a new challenge in your life, or just being passionate about other cultures. If you know why you want to do this, in the next step you should divide learning into small pieces. Imagine getting from a non-speaker to a fluent speaker. This process takes a few years and it sounds like one giant project, almost impossible to achieve. That's why what you need to do is to set a time-limited, measurable goal. For instance, I will practice 10 hours on Skype and learn the list of 500 words by the end of this month. I know that before I included learning lists as the bad thing, but that's just a way you can measure your progress. My favorite method is the SMART method, which allows you to organize your goals in a very precise way. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this presentation, please thumb it up and subscribe to my channel. And when you have any questions regarding this movie, feel free to ask in the comments below. I also invite you to watch my other videos, linked in the right side of your screen. Bye!